This kind of happened around Thanksgiving, roughly. So I haven't really had a chance to mention it or bring it up or anything like that. It kind of fell between the cracks, so to speak. Anyway, this is from esportstalk.com. Volition delays the Saints Row release to summer of 2022. Which, first of all, just look at these fucking clowns. Look at these people. Look at this fucking dork. This is the guy that's supposed to be the hedge fund manager type motherfucker who gets into who's so behind in student debt that he's got to start slinging drugs and shit, I guess, or whatever the hell. Like, what the fuck? A bow tie, a fucking bow tie. You look like Pee Wee Herman. That shit. I know that may not be the most relevant of references anymore, but yeah, I like Ernie Johnson. So yeah, he wears a bow tie too. From TNT. But anyway, it's just, and this is the main character get that fucking haircut, and then you got some shirtless fuck, and this chick, but she looks kind of cute. But I mean, like, what overall, you look at this group and you're not like, hey, there's a group of gangsters. You're like, what? Who are these people? Who are these kids? They're like a bunch of college dropouts. Looks, I guess, except for him, he looks like he's valedictorian and stuff. But anyway, game delays seem a little more common with the effects of the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. It's been delayed from February of next year to August of next year, which I'm sure it's disappointing for people who might be interested in the game. I don't really personally know anyone who's really interested in it. This article does bring up the fact that Agents of Mayhem only scored a 62% on Metacritic. I don't think that's a big deal. You know, I mean, I haven't played Agents of Mayhem because it's not interesting to have co-op and all that stuff. So it's I'm sure it's okay, but as I mean, there's just too many games. But basically, the CCO of Volition, Jim Boone, spoke a lot of our priorities to create the best Saints Row game yet. It's not going to happen. If we release it on the original data, it wouldn't be up to the standards. He also happened to mention that they're not going to change anything that was in that they worked so hard to create on the story and the design and all that stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's kind of too late, isn't it? This game is not going to do all that well. Although one thing that really bothers me is I've seen some other articles about this stuff, and they're like, well, the new Saints Row game is like it's different than the old ones, and that's a good thing because we don't need another Saints Row 2 and things like that. The world doesn't need another Saints Row 2 or something like that. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? All these pearl clutching clowns. Oh, no, 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 no. It's like what made Saints Row 2 the best in my opinion. Although some people say Saints Row 3 or whatever, but what made it one of the best in my opinion was just the irreverent humor. They attack anybody and everybody. That's fine. I got no problem with it. I can laugh at myself. Now obviously these fucking people can't. It's just ridiculous. This article is trying to spin it as if, oh, they're also going to be sidestepping the massive releases coming during August, possibly giving them room between releases to keep attention on them, something that many of the games launching in February of next year won't have. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just fucking dumb. I mean, because there's gonna be big games coming out, whatever, in whatever month they choose. You know, it kind of depends on what you're into and stuff, but there's gonna be big games out all the time. You know, and of course there'll be games delayed. I wouldn't surprise me to see this game get delayed again. Everything never goes bottom, but it's like you're not gonna be able to sidestep major releases. You know, to me, especially when you put these people, you know, this is the people leading your charge for your game. Most people are gonna look at this and be like, pass. And that's the biggest problem is the character designs are shitty. You go from Pierce and Shandy. You can nitpick on those and stuff, of course, but come on, dude. This guy's supposed to be the new Pierce, I guess, because they're both black guys. He looks like a fucking dork. You know, this chick's supposed to be Shandy, basically. You know, is this guy supposed to be Johnny Gat? I mean, I know not. obviously. But that's basically what the inspiration is. Well, here's your fucking crazy guy. Is Johnny Gat. Here's your nerdy black guy. Here's Pierce. Here's your kind of like hipsterish type. And there's Shandi. It's like, what the fuck, man? This looks so fucking dumb. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a bad thing that it's been delayed. I mean, it's not a good thing. I mean, it will be a good thing in the sense of like, if they can make the game better and bug free and stuff. That's never gonna happen because almost all games these days are released with a myriad of bugs. They all have these huge day one patches. They all have these fucking like game breaking bugs and shit. And you're like, what the hell? Why did you delay the game? Now, if it launches and is largely free of bugs, because there's always going to be bugs, I get that. But if it's largely free of bugs, hey, I'll take it back. I'll take it back then. But to me, it's almost like, because the mentality is we're just going to push the game out and then we'll patch it up over a year or 2 years or whatever, which just completely fucks over the consumer because then you have to, download all these dumbass patches and shit. It's like you can't buy a game on disc or whatever and then just play the game anymore. It's almost like 90% of the time, if you don't do all those patches and all that kind of stuff, you don't even have a functional game. And it just seems like this is going to be what's going to happen here. Besides the fact it looks like a Fortnite version of Saints Row, and it's not good. Whatever. People might have their own opinions. Maybe some people are excited for it. That's cool. If you are, tell me about it. If not, tell me about it. Hey, let's go for it. Maybe I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Damn, I'm fucking almost 7 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.